Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and you guys, I'm excited. As promised in yesterday's video, yesterday we took a look at the new Pretty Cool palette from Dose of Colors. All of those beautiful brown, like taupey-ish colors, but like on the cooler tone, but basically just a nice smoky palette. Well, today we're looking at their Snow Angels palette, which, whatcha, hello. Do you see this color? I'm like living for it. We're gonna have some color vibes, which is such an interesting juxtaposition to yesterday when it was like the smoky thing of my dreams. Today we're diving into a little bit of color, which I think is super fun. So very similar to yesterday's palette, this does have 0.06 ounces per piece in a 5-pan set. Same layout, same everything, same price. It is $32. And as I explained in yesterday's video, which hopefully we will learn more about in today's pans and in this palette itself, Dose of Colors does have a more dusty formula in pan, meaning that when you put your brush into it, it does kick up a little bit in the pan itself, so it looks like it's a little bit more chalky. But Dose of Colors is also one of the most blendable, most workable shadows that you will find. So as far as the color spectrum and all of that, I've never had an issue blending them. They've always blended beautifully, really melded together and created a nice seamless look. So, you know, if you're one of those people that like, you dab in and you're like instantly having like a bad first impression, do not let that scare you. You will have a little bit more kick up in pan, but from there we kind of delve into the blendability and how great these really are. So again, I haven't used this one yet, but the Pretty Cool one, it was the same way. I've done multiple videos on these little Dose of Color 5-pan palettes, and they've all been very consistent in formula and amount of product, the size of everything. They do tend to be a little bit more of a uniform brand. Aside from that one they just did with Desi, was it? I think that was the collab they just did. They did 2 rounds of it. And other than that collab though, all of these little 5-pans are very similar in structure, which if you're the type of person that you like everything neat and tidy, it is really awesome because you can get their little 5-pan palettes and you'll have, you know, all the berry colors together, the siennas. They have one called Sassy Siennas. Now they have this Pretty Cool. You can really have everything laid out and structured just so, all mattes. These are all matte shadows, as are their other palettes. And it is a really interesting way that they choose to structure it and that they choose to do their palettes. I think it's kind of cool because they don't get caught up in this whole like, oh, let's add this over here. Like their little palettes are very straightforward, very color scheme and, you know, all of that really driven. And I love that about them. This is the first time that I've actually seen one of these little 5-pans from them where it offers more than just like one color spectrum, where it's not just like, okay, light berry, lighter berry, darker berry, dark berry, darkest berry. You know, it doesn't just have that one color in it. So I thought it would be cool to take a look at because you get more of like 3 berry tones and then 2 blue tones. And I thought those would pair really well together and we can just kind of see what fun we can have. So without any more talking, let's go ahead and dive into the palette. All right, you guys, I am all zoomed in, ready to go, and I have already obviously done my brows because we know Paige has no brows, and I did so with the Morphe Brow Pencil in the shade Java right there. It's a good pencil for me. It's actually almost the perfect, like, exact color as my hair. It's crazy. But I have that on the brows, and then I did go ahead and prime and prep my lids, of course, with my standard Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Eden to give it that nice concealer look, which I then sat down with my Maybelline Fit Me Loose powder in 05 Fair because you girls got to set it down, make it smooth, make it ready to go. So I am ready to crank. Now real quick, before we get into the shadow, I do want to throw up the swatches of these little sexy guys, and I believe we're running from this way down. At least I know that's the direction on my hand. But as far as the names go, we have Cashmere, Pretty Bold, Berry Cold, 0 Degrees, and Thin Ice. Now, I really love, like, I'm not so much into the shade names, whatnot, like that doesn't trip me up too much for this palette, but I really love, like, the closer and the closer I look at these and when I swatch them, I loved the feel. They were so smooth and they actually almost looked like they had a satin finish for a couple of them. I was just like, I'm really impressed. I'm super excited to see how these are gonna wear on the lids because I'm telling you, they swatched, like, I was like, boop, 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 and it was just like, like just color. It was just a sexy arrangement of color and it felt so good. Huh, okay, so anyways, let's go ahead and grab a brush, which, you know, I probably should have had that one ready before I sat down, but I did not. I didn't think that far ahead. So the first thing we're gonna do is we are going to grab this Morphe E27 brush, which is like a bigger blunted end fluffy brush. And I love this type of brush with this color right here, or this type of color, just a really nice broad stroke crease color. And I love it because it's a really nice, quick way to work a color like that all the way through the crease, and that's going to be the color that we use to blend everything else into because I think it'll match everything else really beautifully. So we're just going to start it on the outer V because I always start out here just because, like, what if that color is darker or it's different than I thought? this is a good time to test it. You get a good look at it and you go, okay, can I handle that? Oh, hell yes, I can handle that. And then we get it moving all the way through the crease. And again, this one I'm gonna keep a little bit higher in the crease because I just said crease 16 times. I'm gonna keep it higher up here because I'm gonna use it to blend everything else into, which is gonna make it more of an upper transition. And because I have super hooded eyes, a lot of times I break my eyes up into different sections than like a normal eye gets broken up into. Most people just talk about the crease, which is the standard area that you put shadow. But when you have, you know, for a transition area. But when you have hooded eyes, it's not that easy because hello, like where's my transition area? It disappears into this giant hooded abyss back here. So I like to go ahead and take a color like this and I pop it up into what I call the upper crease, which is this big old fat poochy puffy area up here that I have all this nice, I don't know, fat or I don't know what this is, but half my lid space is way up here where I really don't want it. So I try to bring everything back down, and that's why I take a color like this and I plop it right on up there. That way, no matter what, you're gonna get that nice little peekaboo for everything else to blend into, and it just creates a really nice veiling effect for the colors that are to come, which you will see shortly. I'm very excited about this. Oh man, am I excited. And I think I even have kind of a vision that I wanna do. I think I want to do like the pinky berry colors on the top lid and then the blue on the bottom lid. Like I think to smudge out the lower lash line with the blue, I think that would be really pretty. So that's what we are gonna do today. Oh my god, Lord. I love this color. This is such a perfect like transition. Ooh, girl, she's sexy. Now, I really, really loved how hot pink and like bright and vibrant that color was. So I'm gonna skip over that color for right now and I'm gonna go straight into the deep berry tone in the dead center of the palette. Look at that color. And I'm taking this on the BH number 5 brush. You guys saw a lot of this brush yesterday. I think this is such a great affordable brush for my eye shape. And I'm gonna take and start popping this color right out toward the outer V to deepen up this whole area. And then I think what I want to do is I'm going to use the hot pink and I'm going to transition from hot pink over, do like a cut crease, fill it in with hot pink, and then take and do that dark purple on this outer V. I think that that's what I want to try because I think it's going to look really beautiful. And this purple is so freaking smooth. Holy crap. Purples are hard to do, and I'm telling you, this is a beautiful purple. And you'll notice that I'm really taking this purple nice and high. And why is that? Because hello, hooded eyes, when you're looking straight on, you gotta be able to see it. So a lot of times I'll take that darker color and I will pop it way up here, which when you're looking down and you're blending, it looks like I'm taking it all over the place. But when you consider how much of it gets sucked into my eyeball, it's not easy, or it's not hard to realize that, wow, she's just trying to make it be seen. So I'm just gonna grab some of my Tarte Shape Tape here. This is in the shade Fair, and I'm going to grab that on a ColourPop. This is just their little flat Packer shader brush, and I am going to proceed to cut out my crease, and I'm gonna do a wide cut crease, meaning I take it nice and far into the inner portion of my eye to really keep everything open. And I take my finger here and I like to just smudge out the edge of that concealer. All right, you guys, it looks like we have a nice little piece of purple peeking out over the top there, but we are ready to add that nice hot pink shade. So I'm gonna go in, same brush here, I'm just wiping off the excess concealer because you know me, I don't like to dirty more than like 2 brushes because it's just not who I am. So I'm really gonna get some good saturation with that pink color, and we are just gonna work on packing that color onto the lid. And you know what, you guys? I think what I wanna do is I'm gonna pack it onto like this area over, and then I'm gonna take that nice light taupey shade that I originally worked into the high crease there, and I'm gonna pack that on into the intersection. Now to get that other color into the inner portion of the eye, I'm going in with this tiny little flat brush. It's just a no-name flat brush that I got from I don't know where, but any little tiny flat brush you have will work. You just have to find a way to be able to get nice and tight to that cut crease line and add in your color. Ooh, that's pretty. You know what, you guys? I'm not getting any color differentiation between all these pinks. I thought for sure there'd be like a nice difference between this darkness and this color and like that outer V, but they're all blending together and creating like a almost more monotone look. So we're gonna change it up a little bit. We're gonna be adding glitter here shortly. But first what I wanna do is take that deep berry on the outer V there, and I wanna deepen it up just a little bit. I don't want to go super duper deep on the outer V, but just deep enough that I still get some good outer V dimension. Wow, I can't believe you can't even hardly tell that I did a cut crease. Like that's how deep that hot pink purple built up. Wow. Now, after much deliberation, I settled on this glitter. This is the Urban Decay Heavy Metal in Glam Rock, which is literally just like a straight silver glitter. And I'm going to do like a star effect, not a star effect, but like a stargazer effect. And I'm going to pile this on down in the inner corner of the eye. And then I'm going to trace out the cut crease and create like a, I don't know, like a shooting star effect. And we're gonna hope that it gives the effect that I'm going for. Now, I'm making sure that as I go through and I do this, I'm concentrating as much glitter as possible toward the inner eye, and then I'm doing a light veil of sparkle across the rest, so that way it kind of gives that faded out effect into the darker area. And I'm just trying to zazzle it up and at the same time give a little bit more light to that inner portion of my eye. And I feel like the base down here, having that nice hot pink color, is giving it such a beautiful like reflection to sit on top of. It's looking, wow, that's really pretty. Holy crap. And you don't have to layer this much. You can layer as much as you're comfortable, but I'm just going for more like concentrated and then diffusing it out. That's why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. But if you'd rather, you know, just trace your cut crease or however you want to do it is obviously totally up to you. I'm just trying to do something a little bit different. And I love using these Urban Decay little glam rock, or not glam rock, but these little liners, these heavy metal liners. They're very versatile. They're one of my favorite things to use because just like right now, you can see you can use them for detail work, or you can use them for all over. You can use them to trace a liner. I mean, there's so much you can do with these that they are just so valuable to have in your arsenal without having to get out like all the glitters and all the glues and a brush. And, you know, you don't have to do half the work to come out with this beautiful effect. Now I am going to take this small little IT Cosmetics brush. It doesn't say what it is, but it's just a tiny little packer-ish brush. And I'm going to grab that deepest purple shade in the palette, and I'm going to work that into this outer V in very, very small, tight amounts, just to keep the color nice and as packed as possible. And I'm doing this because, again, I'm trying to create that nice deep outer V illusion, and that way where those sprinkles trail off, it gets very nice and dark and sultry, which is kind of what we're going for these days, you know? Now I am going to trace the lash line here with this Wet n Wild Mega Slim Skinny Tip Eyeliner. I'm just going to keep this nice and close to the lashes. You guys, I'm loving how this is turning out. Like, I was nervous there at first, but shit, that is glammy. Like, hey girl. Okay, I'm gonna run off of camera, do this eye and the rest of my face, and I'll be back on to give you some final thoughts about this palette, what I think, do you need it, all that good jazz. It's coming to you right after this boop. I don't know what the boop was. I don't know. Did you boop? I don't know. I don't know. I'm weird sometimes. What can I say? I'm weird most of the time with a dash of sanity. It's the best I can do. All right, you guys, I finally went ahead. I got the rest of my face all finished up, and I actually went in with the same lashes from yesterday, those Ardell Faux Mink Dummy Wispy situations. They're really good for like a nice drugstore lash, but I have beat these ones all to hell. This might be their last wear, so take a good look. But you guys, I really love the way that this turned out. I paired it on the lip with Christmas Cookie from Jeffree Star. This is one of my go-to like pinky nudes when I do more of an intense pink eye. Pink eye, just because it works really well and it really helps tie everything together without being like too much of a punch on the lip, you know? But overall, what do you guys think? I love this. Now, I want to talk about this palette a little bit because as you guys know, when I review a palette, my biggest thing is it worth the price? Do I think you need it type situation? And as I was going through and playing with this and doing my lower lash line, which I'll get to that here in a second, I was really struck with this idea of how necessary is this color arrangement or these colors in your collection. And I think that these are great colors to have if you want like a more punchy look. If you're looking for them specifically, I think it's a good palette. I don't have anything like against the quality or anything, but I struggle with the arrangement of this palette just because how usable friendly is it? That's what my mind kind of keeps coming back to. And for me, I could find a use for it, but I wouldn't really be gravitated to using this by itself unless I had like, or I wouldn't be gravitated towards using it by itself. I would want to make sure I had another palette. And I think one of the things that set this palette apart from like the palette I used yesterday, which was the Pretty Cool palette, I loved how daytime to nighttime this was. I liked how user-friendly it was. I liked a lot of different aspects of this that would make it user-friendly, that would make it, you know, day to night, that would make it on the go, that would make it really encompassing for all ages ages and skin tones and types and walks of life that you're on, I thought this would be a good option for that. And so that's why I have no problem saying, you know what, this is a really nice palette. I love the tones and I like that it's all in one place. Now, when I look at this palette, I see beautiful, amazing quality shadows, but the only thing that is missing from that is the idea of how are you going to use this. That one I had a very clear vision of who could use it, how they would use it, when they would use it, sort of thing. And then I look at this one and I just don't see that same usability. So for me, it does lose a couple points for that, but what I will tell you is that the amount of product and everything is very consistent. The quality is very consistent. Everything was very blendable. I went in and I did my lower lash line and I took that dark blue shade. I smudged that up with a smudger brush right next to the lower lash line and got it good and smoky. And then I went in with the other bright blue shade right underneath of that. I smoked it out underneath just a little bit. I didn't want too much going on down there, but just enough to really tranquil everything out. And then I took a little bit more of that Glam Rock from Urban Decay and I popped that right in the inner corner after I did highlight and stuff. And I was really trying to bring all the cohesion together. Now, the other thing I do want to drift over to real quick is the Glossy Wonderland mini lip gloss set. I also picked this up from the Dose of Colors website. You get 4 little mini lip glosses and they are all like nice nudie tone pinks. And overall, you guys, these are quite beautiful. Now, they do have a little mini set very similar to this, but with their liquid lipsticks. I didn't pick it up because if you're new to my channel, hello, I'm not a big fan of Dose of Colors lipsticks. Their liquid lipsticks are way too drying on me, but their glosses are beautiful. So I wanted to pick these up. They have a lot of opacity to them. I like that the entire set is more nudie pink. So if that's something you're into, you find that you gravitate towards that a lot. They're very easy to pop in your purse. They're a good size for like a clutch. But you guys, I want to know all of your thoughts down below. I want to know what you think. Do you love it? Don't forget to check me out on Twitter and Instagram. All the links are down in the description below. And above all else, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, internet. Excuse me, sir. I need some service up in here. Yes, please. Get down on it. Get down on it. Ooh, my neck crack. Maybe we could release some more blood flow up to my brain. Maybe that would help. Now, real quick though, I do want to throw up this. Okay, so now that we are all zoomed in and ready to rock, I just wanted to let you guys, what the fuck am I? Who am I? I gotta tell. I just wanted to let you know you won.